Defense Secretary Gibo Teodoro nagulat sa balitang sosurrender na tayo sa China. Pilipinas kumagat na nga ba sa patibong? Ayon sa Department of Foreign Affairs, pumayag na daw ito sa gusto ng China. Papauwi na daw natin lahat ng barko. China tuwang-tuwa kumagat sa patibong ang Pilipinas. Gulat na gulat si Secretary Gibo kay Secretary Enrique Manalo.
We'll see what we can do in order to maintain our sovereign rights, but we're always open to talking with China and other countries on how we can manage our disputes peacefully.
Have we spoken to them?
We're planning to.
When, sir?
Soon.
Pero ayon sa ilang mangingisdang Pilipino, hindi tayo pwedeng sumunod sa gusto ng China. Bigyan lang sila ni BBM ng mas malalaking pangisdang barko. Barkong kayang banggain daw ang mga Chino sa Pilipinas, hindi yung bangkang laging sinisira daw ng mga Chino. Sobrang kapal daw kasi ng mga mukha ng mga Chino sa Pilipinas. Sila pa dito ang mas malalaki ang barko.
Sila pa yung nagdedeklara ng no trespassing policy. So, ang kakapal ng mukha nitong mga Chinang ito. At sila pa yung nagde-declare ng fishing ban.
Pag binangga kami, pwedeng masira ang bangka. Gawa lang to sa plywood eh. Pag nasira ang bangka namin, problema namin. Kung saan kami kukuha na naman pambili ng bangka, ang hirap. Hirap ng buhay.
Pero ayon kay Secretary Gibo Teodoro, bagamat nakipagkasundo ng DFA sa China, hindi ibig sabihin ng Pilipinas ay maliligtas na din daw dito. Kitang-kita nyo naman kasing hindi sila gumagamit dito ng armas, pero China nahaharas-haras pa rin daw tayo. Gamitin daw natin tong pagkakataon para makapagpalakas. Pilipinas magdagdag armas na din daw tayo.
Secretary Teodoro, just yesterday, the Department of Foreign Affairs announced that the Philippines and China have already reached an agreement with regard to the Ayungin Shoal. How will rotation and resupply missions now be carried out under this new agreement?
We'll have to wait for the National Maritime Council to convene and for the DFA to relay to us what exactly has been agreed upon. I don't have any information at this time, so it would be premature for me to comment.
Right. I understand that information, details of that meeting have not yet been relayed. But the Philippines earlier called China out for their actions in the West Philippine Sea, saying that the Philippines will neither seek permission nor consent from anyone, nor will it publish any schedule of RORE missions. What was the directive of President Marcos to the DFA, or at least to the panel, before going into this meeting? Do we have at least any guarantee that these conditions were not compromised?
I'm certain that the DFA is conscious of those parameters that it cannot exceed, and I have no reason to doubt that such parameters were not heeded in coming into this arrangement or agreement with China.
Right. Secretary Teodoro, we understand that China and Philippines have also agreed to establish a new presidential hotline which can be used in case of any confrontations in the West Philippine Sea. What makes this different from the hotline that President Marcos Jr. and President Xi Jinping agreed upon in January last year?
That remains to be seen. I cannot say with certainty what the difference will be. However, given the fact that there have been the bilateral committee meetings on de-escalation, I mean, probably this is another venue where things can be settled without having to let things spread further that can lead to an armed conflict.
Right. Secretary Teodoro, what keeps you optimistic that China will do good on what was agreed upon this time around? Because frankly speaking, Beijing does not have a good track record of following what was agreed upon, whether verbally or on paper.
Well, definitely. That's why my focus really is on deterrence and on speedily building up a credible deterrent force, not only in terms of capabilities, but also in terms of systems and skill sets. And that goes not only for the armed forces of the Philippines, but principally in my own department, the Department of National Defense, where what we want to see is for Congress to fast-track the enactment of a DND transformation bill, copies of which I have given to both the Senate President and the Speaker of the House and the leaderships of both chambers, so that we can provide the proper managerial and strategic support to to all the agencies that fall under us. The DND as a department is one of the smallest in terms of manpower and in terms of resources, considering what it has to manage. And I think that we have to level up from the department down to its 5 agencies so that if we can manage the introduction of the deterrent capabilities and to implement the CADC and other measures to counter disruptive and information operations against the Republic of the Philippines sustainably and professionally and competently.
Okay, Secretary, I'm glad that you mentioned the information operations being done against the Philippines. Just last week, the DND, your department, was front and center of a controversy with some bloggers and commentators alleging that there was a walkout during a command conference. Can you tell us more about that incident?
That has been denied several times. There was no such incident as far as I'm concerned. And now let's put it, just to settle matters. It is a principle of fairness that he or she who alleges proves. So let them prove it.
All right. Before we talk about the solutions that DND presents to that problem, talk to us first about how wary the department and the administration is when it comes to these attacks on another front. How grave is the problem of misinformation operations against the Philippines?
Well, we don't take these things lightly because of the freedom of information and freedom of the press and the basic freedoms of speech that we have in this country. It is something that we have to deal with. And unlike other countries with closed systems, like China, for example, they don't need to deal with this. They just shut you down or put you to jail. Well, with us, we have to deal with a free marketplace of ideas, and it is a fine line that separates free speech from a possible offense or violation.
And how is the DND addressing this problem? Is the agency at least flexing some efforts to track down who are behind these propagandas?
We are leaving it to the appropriate intelligence agencies to do so. We are working with the DICT, and because the DND is not an investigative agency, so we leave it to we have a defense intelligence and security group here. We leave it to them to ferret out the source of these rumors. And then after it has been established with credible evidence as to who the perpetrators of these rumors are, we find out what we can do about it.
Aside from this rumor mongering, are there any other reports as to what Beijing or any actors are doing to somehow distract us, again in your own words, from getting a solid defense posture in the West Philippine Sea?
Oh, the most prevalent is the assertion that any attempt of the Philippines to upgrade its capabilities in order to enter into functional and working alliances with like-minded nations is deemed by China as a provocation. And for example, we heard rumors that there are targets in this country because of supposed capabilities that the US government has here. This is a consistent narrative by China. And for example, to counter this, what we should see is that the G7 came out against the acts of China in the West Philippine Sea, a host of other countries, the EU, and each and every time China has retorted that these statements disturb regional peace. So China's rhetoric is that they are the only ones correct and everybody else is wrong. Well, I think they should examine very closely the real state of things. If a lot of people in the world are saying there's something wrong with you, then it's high time that you self-examine.
We understand, Secretary Teodoro, that last week the AFP spokesperson mentioned to Head Start that the AFP is looking into whether or not there were legal violations linked to that issue. Will the DND or will any agency under your department actually file cases against those who peddled this fake news?
That matter has to be investigated. We need to get to the source of these rumors and find out what we can do about it. And we feel that not only these rumors, but there are a lot of misinformation going around. So we appeal to the public. Nakikiusap kami sa ating mga kababayan na maging masusi sa aaral ng impormasyon kung ano ang kumakalat dyan sa media, kasi madami ngayon ng chismis, no? There's a lot of disinformation and misinformation going around, and a lot of this is seeks to distract us from ensuring that we get a credible defense posture. It's trying to weaken our political, economic, and social fabric.
Ngayon, ikaw bilang Pilipino, ano ang masasabi mo at reaksyon sa balitang ito? Mag-iwan ka ng komento sa ibaba at atin pong babasahin isa-isa.